Ty Spiritual, and I'm back with another video, man. Simple. Now today I got another chapter breakdown from Dolores Cannon's 3 Ways of Volunteers and a New Earth book. Now in this chapter, I found out that the Watchers and the Galactic Federation are one and the same. Now I released a video a while back talking about the Watchers, and I said they could be calling themselves the Galactic Federation of Light. And I was correct. Now, for those that don't know what the Galactic Federation is, I'm gonna keep this real short. It is like a universal government that keeps everything balanced, everything in check. Okay? And I say government, I'm not speaking about how corrupt our government is, but that's another video. But it is a huge collective of planets, of ETs, physical and non-physical, that monitor the universe. Okay, for those of you that watched the anime movie that I recommended called The Laws of the Universe, they talked about the Federation. Okay, for those of you that are also familiar with Marvel, they talked about the Watchers. See, they put information right in plain sight, but the thing is, many people don't realize it. All right, that's a huge cloud blocking the sun. Anyways, please like this video because it helps the information spread, and that's my main goal. Let's try to get at least 400 likes on this video. Please subscribe and please share as well. And my Discord has now been made, so if you want to join, click the link that is in the description. Be respectful when you get over there, follow all the rules, and we're gonna have a good time. We got an anime chat in there, music chat, meditation. We're gonna do all that over there. Okay, now let's get right into this. Dolores Cannon is interviewing a lady named Janet. All right, Janet wanted to explore a strange memory of a UFO sighting. Okay, after Dolores put after Dolores put Janet in a deep state of trance, she was able to connect with her higher self. For those that don't know who Dolores Cannon is, she does this with thousands and thousands of people. Okay, now the subconscious then told Dolores that Janet was abducted by aliens as she was driving. Okay, so Janet, one day she got mad at her husband, stormed off, got in the car with her kids. She's driving down the street. She sees this gray-shaped disc, and then she's trying to outrun it. But then a huge beam of light comes down from this disc and engulfs the whole car. She cannot outrun it. Then this is what happens. The aliens put her children who were in the car to sleep so they would not be scared. Now, when people hear alien abduction, the average person is going to think of a scary event where they get taken by an alien and they're on the table getting worked on as they're screaming, or they get taken and they never come back. I blame mainstream media for that, because what they put in movies, what they put in most books, mainstream books that they will want you to read about aliens that will put people in fear, that is what causes that fear when it comes down to being abducted. But it's really not that at all. The truth is this: a lot of people on this planet are connected with these ETs that abduct them, and they abduct them to work on them, to monitor them, to change things, and to help them on their spiritual journey in this physical plane. Okay, so abductions are not this evil thing. They're just not. All right, and I've had experiences that prove that. Okay, now I'm scared. All right, Janet's light body was taken out of the car and upon the ship. Her physical body stayed. The ship was a gray disc. Now you may say, hold on, her light body was taken out of the car, but her physical body stayed. Here's what I mean by that. You are not this physical body. This is only a vessel that you use to physically communicate with this third dimensional plane. You will not have this physical body forever. You will not. No matter how strong people may try to attach themselves to it, this is going to drop one day. Now, every night you sleep, your light body leaves your body, your physical body, and goes off and has experiences into different dimensions. When that light body comes back into your body, you then have what is known as a dream. Your mind is putting together images and experiences based off where you as life force has been and has done. All right? You are not the physical body. You are not, okay? You have a light body. That's what you become once you die, okay? So when they say her light body was taken out of the car, it's very simple. Who she really was taken out of the car, went right through the ceiling, because it's not physical. Her physical body stayed there. By working on her light body, they can affect her physical body. All right? Now let's move on. The subconscious said it was okay for Janet to remember certain things, but not all, because it would cause fear. Now, a lot of people, they have small bits and pieces of memories where they were abducted, where they seen certain ETs, but they can't remember the whole thing. You see, the goal is to spark your brain, to spark you towards awakening, to push you towards awakening, but not giving you too much to the point where it would traumatize you, okay? So that's why we don't remember the whole thing at once, but you will remember once you're ready, okay? Let's move on. The subconscious then said that Jackie had been taken many times as a kid. Now, children have no fear. Most don't. They will do almost anything. That's why they must be guided. You got a stove, and the stove is on, and it's hot. A child see that stove burner is now like an orange color, and it's not. And that child knows that burner isn't normally that color. So what is it gonna do? What is he or she gonna do? Gonna touch it, to feel it, to understand it, because they have no fear. So it is easier for ETs to connect with children opposed to an adult who has been somewhat conditioned by the Matrix to be in fear when we see things we don't understand. So that's why they connect easier with children. And Janet has been taken many times as a child by these ETs, okay? Let's find out why. Now, the aliens took her body so they could monitor her. They made adjustments in her mind and her body. So when a lot of these people get abducted, that is your spiritual family working on you. That is your team working on you. People say spirit guides. That's who they are. They're always there with you. Always. But they reveal themselves slowly so they won't traumatize you. So you won't be scared. They know what you can handle. They know what you're ready for. So when people say, I want to meet my spirit guides, I want to meet them, I want to know what they look like, just don't focus on it. Keep raising your vibrational frequency, and those experiences will come to you when you're ready. Okay? This is so fascinating, man. The aliens took her so they could monitor her. Okay, I already read that. Some starseeds, such as Janet, only come to Earth or other planets in pivotal times in its evolution. For example, it's Earth, such as Atlantis and Egypt. So some life forces only choose to incarnate in the physical when a planet is going through a pivotal time in its evolution. For Earth, it'll be like Atlantis. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Atlantis was the first advanced civilization on this planet. But they advanced so quickly and so rapidly that it corrupted those humans at the time. And they ended up doing things that they should not have been doing. And that led to them getting wiped out. Now, I'm going to make a whole video on Atlantis, so I ain't going to go too deep into it in this one. But they got wiped out. Now, after Atlantis, some people survived, such as Thoth, a.k.a. Ningishita, a.k.a. Enoch. And he took all their information to Egypt. So Egypt, when Egypt formed, that was the rebuilding of humanity because they had been wiped out. All right? So you got to think about it. while Atlantis was going on, first civilization, everybody learned this stuff, thriving. When Egypt came along, everything had been knocked down. So this planet and this life force and its life forces that inhabit it, aka humans, had to rebuild. So that's a pivotal time as well. All right, so let's move on. The starseed has a choice when and where to go. They're advised by the Federation. Now this is where I figured out the Watchers, Federation, same thing, okay? Because many of us are a part of the Galactic Federation. We are a part of these ETs that watch over all these planets. Some of us are literally them in physical bodies, okay? Because they can't interfere because it'll go against our free will. But they can make changes from the inside. So some of them become human, okay? People talking about spirit guides, spiritual team. Some of you, your spiritual team is a part of the Galactic Federation, all right? That just fascinated me. Now, Dolores asked for clarity, and the subconscious said, yes, worlds, many worlds, creating new life, new worlds. This is what the Galactic Federation do. They go around the universe creating new worlds, creating life forces, watching over them, monitoring them. That's what they're doing on Earth, okay? But when it comes to the third dimension especially, they cannot interfere because of the free will, all right? This is what the Starseed mission was. The Galactic Federation, they saw this planet was not moving. Well, they saw that the humans on this planet were not getting out of the loop of karma. They were still doing the same thing. So they got to the point where they were deciding, should we just extinguish life and start over? Or should we let it continue? Should we let it keep going? They went back to other councils, and a decision was then made, let it keep going. Let it continue. But Earth needed help. Gaia needed help. Or she was going to end up just like her brother, Mars, lifeless, okay? That's when the call was sent out across the universe. And high-dimensional souls came from different galaxies. M83, the Andromeda Galaxy, came to Earth to help this ascension, to help Gaia reach 5D, okay? And now, there is enough light on this planet for this ascension to be complete. All the ETs are watching this. All the ETs are watching you. Some of you are them. You just can't remember. Not yet. All right? Let's keep going. Jackie watches herself on a screen being human. Now, when they say Jackie watches herself, they're talking about the higher self, okay? Her light body in that state looks human, similar to what she is in the physical plane on Earth, all right? A small female. There are more forms it could take than humans can imagine, all right? So that part kind of talks about the higher self observing itself in the third dimension. So think about it. You see angel numbers? That is where those numbers are coming from. You are being guided by your higher self because your higher self is always watching you. Your spiritual team is always watching you. Always watching you. Don't let that creep you out, but they're always watching you, okay? Now, I'm going to read a passage from the book. Dolores said, well, the subconscious said through Janet, operating on other dimensions and levels, many of you are experiencing this. You can't hold a lot of things these days, small things. You need to experience more balance. Now, Dolores gave more clarity. This was also reported in The Custodians, which is one of her books, as going into a room to get something and then not remembering what you went in there for. Then after a few moments of confusion, the memory will sometimes return quickly with an, oh yes. They said At that time, you have already gone to another dimension and returned just that quickly. So I know you've all had those moments where you go in and you're like, what did I come in here for? Oh, that's what I came in here for. That is you going into another dimension and coming back that quickly. That fast. Let's move on. All right. Now, let me go out. The subconscious said the reason that Janet was abducted that night was because it was time for her to remember. Now, this brings me back to a dream I had. And I'm going to speak on that dream now, and I haven't yet. Let me see, how can I put this? One night I fell asleep. I had a dream. And then in that dream, I was on a ship. I had no physical body, but I could still observe. But when I look around, I can't see anything. All right. So it's pretty much like a first person view. So just how I'm looking now, but except I did not have a physical body. Now, during this dream, and when I tell you guys this, don't allow it to blow your imagination up. But during this dream, I was looking and I saw this guy standing next to this lever. And he said, third eye activation. And he pulled a lever. When he pulled that lever, huge energy started bombarding my pineal gland. Like, it started bombarding my pineal gland to the point where I was pulled back to my body. And when I woke up, I'm rubbing my forehead like this because that's how intense that sensation was right there. I could still feel it even when I was back in my physical body. So I'm waking up, I'm looking around like, what the heck is that? Remember how I said the Galactic Federation on ships, your spiritual team on ships? I now have the clarity to know that was my spiritual team. And I did not have that dream by accident, because ever since that dream, it's been easier for me to tap into my pineal gland, my third eye chakra. It's not fully open and fully activated yet, but it's been a lot easier. So that is an experience that I needed to happen, that I needed to have happen. That was my spiritual team helping me to remember, because I remember small bits and pieces of it. I don't remember everything. Okay, let me make sure I'm still recording. Okay, I'm still recording. Let's keep going. Now, she was also taking some time for physical adjustments and emotional. The subconscious also said that Janet has been working with many ETs. Some are even beams of light, some have physical bodies, and some are just light altogether. Now I'm going to read another passage from the book. Dolores, I think people are not used to thinking of Dolores, I think people are not used to thinking of multidimensional. We think of ETs and spaceships and physical beings. Janet, what is multidimensional? Multidimensional is a being who is aware of all its lifetimes at the same time, past, present, and future. One being can be many beings all at the same time. That's what all of you are. You are just not aware of your dimensionality. Okay? You are only aware of you. Let me read that again. Janet then responded to Dolores. But what is multidimensional? It was a rhetorical question. The subconscious then said, multidimensional is a being who is aware of all its lifetimes at the same time, past, present, and future. One being can be many beings all at the same time. That's what all of us are. We just cannot remember. We are only aware of who we are in this present moment, but that can be changed. Okay? Now, Dolores then responded, because it would be too much for us to take if we became aware of everything. The subconscious then responded, at this time, you could be in the future. Now that means that one being can be many different things. So if you can imagine, let me say this to you. You could have anything. All right? Let's move on. Now, here's a message directly from the book, a party message. We would say this to you. There are those of you that meet in the dream state that are more involved with the orchestrations on this planet than you have any idea at this time. Remember I just told you guys about that dream I had? There are those of you that bring specific information to the form. We would also say to you that there are those of you that carry forth truth, that bring that truth forward without hidden agenda, without distortion. And therefore, those of you that come together, that are of that ilk, that are of that nature, now one another, know one another more than you know. Okay, let's move on. This is the last part, a parting message for the chapter. This is what the subconscious wanted Janet to know, aka the higher self, aka the spiritual team federation. We would say to her to have much faith and trust in everything she does, to move forward with that same level of commitment, stay consistent, that everything she needs will be there exactly as she needs it. We would say the same thing to you. Those of you who are acting as the bridge on this planet are greatly loved. This is not to say that others are not loved. We would say to you, you are performing a great service on the planet, and there are many that love and appreciate you. Stay clear with your intentions. Cannot fail. Now that chapter was amazing to me because it gave me clarity on why I had that dream and who were those beings that I saw in that dream. Many of us are connected to the Federation. We are. Many of us are literally them in physical bodies, but we cannot remember yet. Okay? When they said that you are greatly loved, they meant you are greatly loved by your spirit family, by those ETs, those light beings, those physical beings that you may not be able to perceive and see now. You are being admired for what you're doing on this planet greatly, because this is the greatest service you can do for the collective at this time, helping this planet awaken, helping Gaia ascend. It's the greatest thing you can do in the universe at this time, and it's not easy. This is the most challenging planet to be on. This is the hardest planet to wake up on. Not every life force chooses to come back here, because some have graduated, some have moved on, but they don't want to risk being stuck here. But you chose to come back. You did. Not everybody is a starseed. Some people that may be watching this video, you are one of those that needed help from the starseeds that came here. But I'll tell you this, don't focus too much on what you are, because what you are, that understanding will come to you in divine timing. All right? The Galactic Federation, the Watchers, are real. They are watching over this planet. They are watching you. But please understand, they are not your saviors. They are not good or bad. They exist outside of that third dimensional thinking. Okay? It is up to you to save yourself. You can't save anyone else. You can't force anybody else to wake up. You simply cannot. All right? But what you can do is provide the spark. The spark for them to awaken to who they truly are. All right? And I wasn't going to do this, but I'm actually going to make this video a little longer. I have another part that I'm going to break down. I'm going to make this video a little longer. All right? So let me go up. Let me go up. Give me 1 second. And for that multi-dimensional part, remember that, okay? Now, let me go up, because I'm going to make this longer. This chapter was about a teacher named Victoria, all right? It's called The Family. Victoria was a teacher in high school and had contact with many people. In a past life, her and others were killed for spreading knowledge. I've had my spiritual teacher tell me he was killed in past lives for speaking about these things. Dolores Cannon actually acknowledged that if we were speaking about the things we were speaking about now, back then, we would be killed. All right? Now, after her death, she ascended and combined with multiple others into a beautiful light. She wanted to remain there, but chose to return in order to spread knowledge in this time. All right? She didn't like Earth. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't review this already, because this is sounding very familiar. This is sounding very familiar. I think I already reviewed this. Oh, I already reviewed that chapter. Anyways, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of Dolores Cannon's book, 3 Ways of Volunteers and the 5D New Earth. Hope I didn't stutter too much and ramble. If you guys have any constructive criticism, leave it in the comments below. I won't take offense to it. Things I can do better, because it's all about giving you guys the most accurate information in the best way possible. All right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, get out in nature. It'll raise your vibration. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And please join the Discord and be respectful. And I'll see you guys over there. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. Ty Spiritual signing out, bro. Simple.